Hello children, let's learn and understand what is metallurgy, the importance of metallurgy and how does it contribute to the industrial world. The term metallurgy means extracting the metals in the pure form from its ores or from its compounds. So how does this happen? Let us understand. What do you all see here? Different colored crystals which are found under the earth's crust. The main source for any metal is a mineral. They all do not exist in the free state. They are found in the combined state. The minerals are the natural material which contain metal in the form of compounds also. What are ores? Ores are those minerals from which we can extract the metal profitably and conveniently. Clay, bauxite. Both of them contains aluminium, but aluminium is found in larger quantity in bauxite, and therefore bauxite is the ore of aluminium while clay is a mineral. Now let's learn the different types of ores. There are mainly 4 types of ores: oxide ores, carbonate ores, sulfide ores and halide ores. Based on the reactivity of the metals, the concentration of the ores is done. The metallurgy involves 4 steps. They are enrichment of the ore, conversion of the ore to metallic oxide, reduction of the metallic oxide to metal, and refining or purification. The first type of enrichment we are going to see here is hydraulic washing. Here, in this hydraulic washing, the fine powdered ore is placed on the table which contains slots and wedges. The running water washes away the impurities and the lighter gangue particles while the denser metal stay back in the groove. This is hydraulic washing. Now let us see the next method, magnetic separation, where the finely powdered ore is placed on the magnetic roller where the particles which are magnetic in nature are attracted by the magnetic wheel falls towards the magnetic wheel while the impurities which are non-magnetic fall apart. Next method we see here is froth flotation. This method is used if the ore is a sulfide ore. How does this work? Let us understand the procedure. If it is a sulfide ore, the ore is crushed and powdered and then mixed well with water and pine oil. Especially ores of copper, lead and zinc, which are sulfide ores, are concentrated by this method. When the grounded ore is mixed with pine oil and water in the large tank, it is agitated with the compressed air. While doing so, the lighter mineral ore particles comes along with the froth on the top, while the heavier impurities like mud, that is gangue, gets wetted up and goes down the tank. So this is how the ore is separated from the impurities. The froth formed along with the ore is washed and separated. The next method of enrichment is chemical separation. Here we see how bauxite is concentrated to get pure alumina. This process is called as Bayer's process. Bauxite contains 60% of aluminium oxide and the rest are impurities. In this method, the bauxite ore is treated with sodium hydroxide to form sodium meta-aluminate, and this is then treated with water to get pure alumina, that is aluminium oxide. The next step in the metallurgy is conversion of the ore into metallic oxide. How it is done? If it is a sulfide ore, by roasting, and calcination if the ore is a carbonate ore. What is roasting? Roasting is nothing but heating the ore at the lower melting point in the presence of air, you can see the crushed ore is fed into the tank and the air is blown from the bottom. The ore is heated where it gets converted into the metallic oxide and sulfur dioxide. The next method is for the carbonate ores called as calcination. This is nothing but the thermal decomposition of the carbonates at higher temperature. Calcination is a process in which the ore is heated in the limited supply of air or in the absence of oxygen. So here you can see limestone, which is calcium carbonate, is strongly heated, undergoes thermal decomposition to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. The carbonate ores are calcined to convert them into oxides. The next step in the metallurgy is the reduction of the metallic oxide into metal. Based on the reactivity of the metal, the reduction method is taken up. First one is reduction by heat. Ore like cinnabar, that is ore of mercury, is reduced by this method. Chemical reduction, reduction by carbon, iron ore is reduced by this method. Then reduction by electrolysis, sodium chloride is reduced to sodium by this method. The next step in the metallurgy is refining and purification. The most commonly used method is electrolytic refining. What is electrolytic refining? In electrolytic refining, the metal is refined or purified by taking the soluble salt of the metal as electrolyte, and the electric current is passed through where the pure metal gets deposited at the cathode and the impure metal gets dissolved from the anode into the solution. This is electrolytic refining. The metal obtained by this method is 100% pure metal. This is the purification of copper metal. Impure copper is taken as anode and pure copper is a cathode. When the current passes through, you can see that the copper from the anode gets dissolved into the solution and gets deposited over the cathode. And finally, the impurities that were present in the anode goes down into the electrolytic tank as anode mud. Copper obtained by this method is 100% pure copper. By now, you all would have understood what is metallurgy and how the pure metals are obtained.